"Let's get out of here," I murmured, my voice low, deliberate. She didn't hesitate, neither did her husband. Their drinks sat abandoned, the weight of the unspoken thick between us. My husband shifted beside me, his fingers brushing mine tense. Expectant across from us, her hand lingered on his leg. Her touch just as telling four of us one decision already made. Through the doors, past the bar into the night. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Stick around as long as you can. The longer you watch, the more YouTube recommends this video, helping the channel grow and bringing you even more stories like this. And while you're here, please hit that like button and subscribe. It's fast, free, and makes a huge difference. Now let's get into it. They do it, you know. I swirled my wine, watching my husband from across the bed. His fingers tightened around his glass, but he didn't answer right away. What? I smiled, slow and knowing the couple from the pool. His gaze lifted to meet mine, the flicker of something unspoken passing between us. If we wanted to, I traced the rim of my glass with one finger. We could have them. His jaw shifted, unreadable. He set his drink down too carefully. "You're joking, am I?" A slow exhale. His knee shifted slightly, attention creeping into his posture. "You're really doing this?" I stretched lazily against the pillows, my robe shifting just enough to catch the way. His eyes flickered before he caught himself. "We came here to have fun, didn't we?" His fingers curled slightly against his leg. "And you think this is fun?" "I think it could be." I trailed my fingertips along his wrist, feeling the warmth of his skin, the steady rhythm beneath. "And I think you do too." Still, he hesitated. I tilted my head, watching him. "She was all over you today." That got him, a subtle shift in his breath. "She was just being..." He stopped, exhaled, then shook his head friendly. I laughed softly, sure. His throat worked as he swallowed, his gaze flicking toward the balcony, toward the dark waves stretching beyond the open doors and her husband. His voice was quieter now. I waited until he looked at me before I answered. He noticed a pause just long enough for it to sink in. And he liked it. His fingers twitched against the sheets. I leaned in, voice just above a whisper. "Tell me the truth." My fingertips ghosted over his wrist, deliberate. "If I said we could have them, would you want it?" Silence, but I already knew. I leaned back, watching him, picked up my glass, took a slow sip, smirking over the rim. Good. I let the moment stretch between us, heavy with what was coming next, because tomorrow night we make our move. Tomorrow night came fast. We spotted them the moment we stepped inside. The younger wife sat at the bar, her legs crossed idly, twisting the stem of her glass between her fingers. Her husband leaned in close, murmuring something against her ear. But the second they saw us, the mood shifted. No hesitation. No surprise, just understanding. I met her eyes, let a small smile play across my lips as I stepped beside her. "Didn't think we'd see you again?" She turned slightly, watching me. "Didn't you?" A flick of amusement in her voice. A quiet challenge behind me. My husband and hers exchanged words, the kind that filled space but didn't matter. The real conversation was happening here. I let my shoulder brush hers just enough to feel the heat of her skin. "Enjoying yourselves?" She tilted her head, considering more now. Her lips curled at the edge as she toyed with her glass. But she wasn't focused on the drink. She was focused on me. I reached for a napkin, brushing her fingers as I picked it up. A slight pause, just enough to know she felt it too. A breath from her husband, a subtle shift from mine. The space between us tightened, the moment locking into place. "Let's get out of here," I murmured. She didn't ask where, she didn't ask why. She just set her glass down and stood. Her husband followed, mine did too. And together we walked out. The bungalow door clicked shut behind us, lantern light casting a golden glow over the space. The ocean murmured in the distance, the night air thick with heat. We moved without discussion. My husband sank onto the couch beside me, his fingers flexing once against his knee before going still. The young man stretched an arm along the back of the seat, across from us, relaxed but watchful. She took her time lowering herself beside my husband. She leaned in slightly, just enough for her bare knee to press against his leg. Not accidental, not subtle. "You're quiet," she mused. Tilting her head toward him, he exhaled through his nose, shaking his head, just taking it all in. She smirked, setting her glass aside. Good beside me. The young man moved his hand, drifted onto my thigh. Light but expectant, I let him. She noticed her attention flicked back to my husband, her fingers trailing over the fabric of his sleeve, a slow, deliberate path down to his wrist. "You don't have to sit still," she teased, his jaw tensed. I dragged my nails along the young man's hand, my voice lazy. "She's right." My husband's fingers flexed, caught between restraint and inevitability. She leaned in, her breath grazing his cheek before whispering, "I think you like being tempted." His lips parted slightly, but no words came. Beside me, the young man shifted closer, his breath warm against my ear. "And you," I hummed, tilting toward him just enough to feel the heat of his skin. "Why don't you find out?" His grip on my thigh tightened. Across from us, my husband exhaled sharply as she settled beside him, leaning in her touch, lingering just a moment longer than necessary. His hands lifted, not to push her away, but to acknowledge the moment. She let her fingers graze down his chest, her voice playful. "You feel tense." I smirked, watching. His head tipped back against the couch, his breath unsteady. Then she kissed him, slow, deliberate. His hands rested on her waist, not stopping her, just holding her there. And then, with a knowing smile, she eased herself lower, her lips trailing a slow, deliberate path downward. She lowered herself beside him, her fingers tracing lazy, teasing circles over his thighs. The younger woman took her time, her touch deliberate, keeping him in the palm of her hand. His breathing grew deeper, his hands flexing against the couch, his control hanging by a thread. A knowing smirk tugged at her lips. "Relax," she murmured, voice thick with amusement. Then she leaned in, his body tensed beneath her, muscles coiling in quiet anticipation. His fingers curled into the cushions, knuckles flexing the restraint in him, barely holding. Every fiber of him braced against the inevitable. A tremor rippled through him as she drew him into her rhythm, savoring the moment, holding him there. The space between them thinned, energy stretching tight between every breath. His head tipped back, a rough exhale slipping from his lips, his muscles shifting beneath the weight of her presence. His fingers twitched, caught between resistance and surrender. A sharp inhale, a pause. Across from me, warmth spread through my own skin, a ripple of something magnetic curling at my spine. I knew this moment would come, but I hadn't expected the way it would take hold of me. The air was thick, heavy with something undeniable. A slow, lingering touch ghosted over my thigh, warmth sinking into my skin. My breath hitched. Awareness bloomed between us, charged and growing before I could process. I was turned, a firm hand slid around my waist, pressing me back into the heat of his chest. His breath grazed my neck deep, measured thick with restraint. But urgency simmered beneath it, woven into the way his fingers lingered. A silent message, a promise. "Your turn," he murmured, his voice low, dark, vibrating against my skin. He didn't wait a shift, seamless, fluid, instinctive. His hold firmed, guiding me exactly where he wanted. My breath caught as his fingers traced the curve of my body, a slow, lingering pull drawing me closer. Then he moved, not with force, but with intent, a slow inhale, His mind, his presence wrapped around me, grounding me in the heat of it. My fingers curled against the couch, my body pressing into his. The air between us thickened, humming with something unspoken. Each second sent a shiver through me, sensation cresting in waves, warmth coiling deep in my chest, tethering me to the moment. Across from us, she let out a quiet, "Please," sound, her movements unhurried. Her control absolute. My husband's grip flexed at his sides, his body shifting beneath her. His expression was taut, his restraint visibly crumbling, as she guided him deeper into her rhythm, watching every response, every shift in his breath. He exhaled sharply, voice rough with urgency, his fingers twitching as if he could barely hold himself together. She only smirked, her fingers skimmed his chest, tracing lower, lingering, keeping him exactly where she wanted. His head tipped back, breath breaking apart, his body trembling beneath her hands, and behind me I felt my own pulse quicken, heat pooling low, the moment closing in around us. A sharp gasp, his fingers tightened around my waist, his breath turning ragged, the space between us vanishing, heat winding between us in an unspoken rhythm. His hold anchored me, his movements threading urgency into the moment, something unseen tightening around us. Then the moment reached a tipping point, something shifting all at once. The pull between us deepening, pressing in from all sides. A tremor ran through him, his breath faltering, his body locking in the gravity of it. Caught in the fire threading between us. Across from me, my husband's fingers clenched, his head tilting back as a sharp, unsteady sound slipped from his lips, his body surrendering to the tension stretched taut between us all. The air pulse charged, the electricity still humming, vibrating in the aftermath. For a moment there was nothing but breath uneven, heavy caught between us, stretched thin over what it just unraveled. Then silence. The ocean rolled in the distance, waves lapping against the shore in an easy rhythm. The night settling into stillness around us. 4 figures breathless in the quiet. Most people swear they'd never cross that line, until the opportunity is right in front of them. Be honest if your partner suggested something like this. Would you say yes without hesitation? Or is this a hard no for you? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe. Don't forget the bell, you won't want to miss what's next. See you in the next one.